Hey kids. So I recently topped the webcam Daybreak Alestrals webcam Daybreak Premier Tournament webcam Alestrals webcam tournament. And I did it playing a deck that exists. I topped playing Thunder. So now we're gonna see my Thunder deck. Everybody give it a four. Thunder. It's amazing that this deck can just carry anybody. So we're gonna start off nice and simple with Astrabbit. It's Thunder, but also it's an Alestrals deck. So we play three Astrabbit. It's an Alestrals deck. It's Thunder. And then we played three Elichick for part of our Thunder core alongside two Zeus, three Jolton alongside two Mount Olympus and two Race to the Top, and a single Toxie. So Elichick and Jolton are like the two big cards in this deck. Basically, they are both fours, except that number is not true. So, looking at Jolton, Jolton on normal cast adds a Stadium. That adds Mount Olympus. And Elchick on normal cast adds a Divine. And that's Zeus. Now, both of these cards, coincidentally, buff their searchers. So Zeus, well, buffs. It shrinks an opponent's Celestial by 3, so that makes Elchick functionally a 7 attacker. And Jolton searches Mount Olympus, which buffs it up by +1, making it a 5/3. Now, I don't know if you know this about Alestrals, but 5 is a good number, and 3 is a great number to have your defense at. It could be better, but it could be a lot worse too. So, the idea with this deck is that you're just playing yellow 5s. I'm sorry to everybody who thought that I was cooking up something spicy, because I have a tendency to play, like, bad decks. No, I'm playing yellow. So there's no spice here, just it's about as spicy as the average white person's chicken dinner. And I'm also on Toxion. I'm on just one. I wanted 7 copies of yellow guys with the number 4 on their attack stat, and Toxion is the next best one. 7 as a number because so I'm on one Toxion as part of all this. Race to the Top, I'm only on 2 of because I can't play 41 cards in my deck. And that's the main core of the deck. It's Belichick, Rabbit, Jolton, and Toxion. Backing it up, I've also got 2 copies of Quackle. It's 2 more copies of Ambrosia. And 2 copies of Arcolith for jump scares. A lot of times people just wouldn't respect this, and I just say, okay, take 4. Take 4. Take 4. And then they'd shake my hand, but they wouldn't actually, because we're not in the same room together. But if we were, then we would shake hands. Now for what little spice there is, the salt on the chicken breast. We've got 3 Eddy, 2 Galaxy, and 2 Foamy. So this is our wet core. Basically, Eddy is really good. Galaxy is a 5 that's really hard to interact with, and Foamy gets you to both of them. Foamy is kind of the reason why I chose to play this deck. So this deck is technically Dewdrop, which is a Thunder-based Ascension deck. Traditionally, it would revolve around Sonicore. I chose Arcolith because I like winning games, and clearly I did. So the idea is you just run out of Foamy, and it's like, well, what do you do about it? You know, like how do you beat this? You know, Earthquake it? You only have 1. So you can just kind of run out Foamy, and it's just a pain in the ass to interact with. Same with Galaxy. Galaxy is like, it's a 5 that just plays really well into almost all the back row. The only thing it doesn't like seeing is like Gorgon's Gaze exactly, but I have ways to get that out, so. And also Galaxy gave me a really good matchup into stuff like Draking, stuff like Waylance, stuff like really every water deck. So I liked Galaxy a lot. Luckily, it didn't go against fire, so no Smoltugas kind of cooked me. But, you know, Smoltuga's not real. It's not even good in fire anymore, so, you know, no real punish. And then Eddy's just a good card. Also of note is that Foamy doesn't have to properly enchant. So, like, let's say you have a Foamy, and it's water enchanted and it dies. You can just say, alright, Thunder Enchanted Galaxy. I now have a 5 Defender, Wall You, and then Ascend to Arcolith. shake my hand, and then they reveal Shield of Achilles, and it's like, oh, okay. For the runes, I'm on 2 Tsunami, because we're playing water, 3 Gorgon's Gaze, because we're playing Elestrals, and 3 Poison Tipped Arrow, because my guys have good numbers, and yours don't anymore. This is it for my counter rune lineup. I really like 8 counter runes, just like in general, because this gives you good chances of drawing 1, 2, over the 3 over the course of a long game, mostly. And like, I'm triggering Rabbit a bunch, so I'm thinning my deck a whole ton. So I'm finding these over the course of the game, for the most part. And even if I don't, my guys are so good at trading back and forth that I don't really care. So 8 is the number that I went with, and it worked out, clearly. Then for Invoke Runes, 3 Ambro and the kill spells. I don't think I have to explain any of this, and if I do, then that's too bad. In the Spirit deck, it was super simple to set up. Basically, I'm on 6 Water, 12 Teratlus, and a full Signetric worth of Thunder. So, it's not a whole lot to explain here. I've got enough water to live with getting shielded multiple times, enough earth to cast the 1 Earthquake, and then a whole bunch of Thunder, because I don't have any other spirits I want to use. I could, technically, main deck the Sided Spirit, and realistically I should, because 11 Thunder is enough Thunder, especially with Quackle. But the secret truth is I only own 54 of this card sleeve. So, that's why we're doing that. In the side, I've got 2 Thunderstorm for Divines and back row. This really was meant to come in against Solar. Got 3 Boombat for cards, 3 Shield of Achilles for Draking and Waylance, 1 more Galaxy for Draking and Waylance, 3 Dense Fog and a single Lunar Spirit for bad decks, and then another Quackle and Arcolith, because I had 2 slots that I didn't know what to do with, and apparently this has felt good in other people's decks, so I'm on them. This came in almost every game, so do with that information what you will. That's about it for my deck profile. My matchups were good. They were fun. I had fun. And I won a lot until I stopped winning. My only losses were to a really bad set of top decks in Game 3 against 5s, and then to Jess on Earth absolutely no diffing me in top 4. So I think that this deck played about as well as it could have, and I think that Elichick and Jolton should be limited because they are too strong. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Everybody say bye-bye.